use of these lately. TMK.
TMK.
Too much Kirby.
Think you can't get too much of a good thing? Try new Kirby Superstar.
Welcome back, everyone, to day 5 of Kirby Week! And after the shit show that was me losing 13 lives in Great Garden, we are now at the Yogurt Yard. So, pretty much like with how I handled Wednesday. So, not only are we getting Kirby today, you will also be getting Undertale. So, I believe we are on episode 18 of Undertale, which is the Muffet fight. That's actually going to be the bulk of the episode, is going to be the Muffet fight. And, forgive me, for, ooh, nice blur there. Forgive me for not, remembering, I am having a brain fart right now, but I cannot remember if I had mentioned that Undertale Neutral Run, it's looking like it's about 24 episodes long. So suffice it to say, after today's episode, there's going to be like 5-6 more episodes, and then the neutral route for Undertale will be done. So hope you guys are looking forward to that. That should come up sometime after this video. And then, might as well mention, so, Golden Wind Geek Out! Huzzah! I got my JoJo Fridays again. It's like, I mean, I always miss my JoJo Fridays, but I also especially miss them when, we get those recaps. Because it just feels like it's so long, And I know these past 2 weeks especially feel like it's been so much longer, since we last got a actual new episode of Golden Wind. And, so, regarding Golden Wind Geek Out. So, usually the way Ryan and I would handle this is, Friday nights when, I'm usually home from work before he does. And usually when Ryan gets home, we get our shit set up, and this is where we watch and record our genuine reactions to watching the episode together. And then we go and record the discussion afterwards. And usually over the weekend is where I'm actually putting the video together. So, working on the audio, gathering screenshots, making the thumbnail. If I am going to be throwing in one of our reactions, I have to find the appropriate clips to to get all of that in there. So, usually this is, that's the process. And, Monday, Tuesday the latest is usually when the next episode would actually get on the channel. But now that Ryan's got this new job, we're kind of playing it by ear right now. We don't really know about, I guess, when we're going to be able to actually do the genuine recordings and shit. Because, Ryan is now, as he's working, he's also, he's working in a new department, and part of his job is closing. And anybody that has ever worked in a grocery store, when you close late. You close 10, 11 o'clock at night? So, suffice it to say, it's going to be very, very late by the time Ryan would get home. And pretty much, we're gonna be playing this by ear tonight. We're gonna see, is it gonna be too late to do a recording, being able to watch and record the discussion, or is that gonna be something we're gonna have to save for maybe doing this Saturday or Sunday, which means the Golden Wind Geek Outs will be coming a little bit later in the week. They will come, make no mistake about it. But, right now we don't really know because, we're still, he's adjusting to his new schedule. He's adjusting to the new job. So we're kind of playing it by ear. I will try to keep you all updated on Twitter at least. Probably more so on my channel. I'll try to keep you all updated as to when to expect the next Golden Wind Geek Out, if it looks like it's going to be coming much later than how it normally would be. But suffice it to say, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's like about time we get to see Chocolate and Secco! Alrighty, but, I know I keep giving updates and shit, but instead of actually talking about Kirby, you know, I do apologize. But, yeah, suffice it to say, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep on ranting, you know, because it's like, I am just kind of having a brain fart right now, and really there's not much to talk about with Yogurt Yard or anything. I mean, it's like, I don't know, I just thought this was just kind of one of the more bland worlds myself. But, so yeah, so I guess, going back onto the ranting, so, I gotta talk about that shit show about, Pro Jared, am I right? I know I talked about it yesterday. Now, bear in mind, when I had recorded, that audio, it was around, I want to say, what, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning? And at the time, we knew that, okay, we knew, Jared had filed for divorce. The ex-wife, Heidi, she came forward saying, you know, oh yeah, there's a divorce going on, but, you know, he was also cheating on me with, Commander Holly, and, you know, and then we had the internet, you know, doing their own research, and, you know, pretty much found out that the affair was even going on while, Holly and Ross were married, so, you know, double what the fuck. And then, we had the allegations and suspicions about the nude pics being sent to minors. Like, we knew the dick pics were out there. That has been documented. So that, without a doubt, was happening. What we didn't know was, did some of these end up in the hands of minors? And that has been confirmed. Yes, he has been sending some of these pictures to minors. So, yeah, kind of weird and crazy to think that within 24 hours, all of this stuff comes out. Because usually when a major scandal like this happens, you usually get, like, the worst stuff, like, days or even weeks after it starts. And it just seems to be happening in rapid time with the Pro Jared. I mean, my God, you know. And yet, despite that, I still think the worst is yet to come. I do really think that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Probably within the next couple of days, hell, probably within the next couple of weeks, we're gonna get an even worse bombshell than what we've got right now. And all I just want to say is, you know, now that it has been confirmed that, you know, some of these pictures have gone to the minors, please let there be a police investigation. Please do not let this slide. Don't let this just be an instance of, you know, oh, we're gonna, you know, oh, his career is ruined and, you know, make it a spectacle on Twitter. It's like, no. Please. Actually, like, you know, do the proper investigations, get your evidence, really, truly get the police involved in it at this point, because they need to get involved now. But, I mean, hell, for all we know, that might actually be the, where the worst is coming. That, you know, that might be what we can come to expect later. But, on a lighter note, we actually got new footage about the Final Fantasy VII Remake! I mean, seriously, took you fucking long enough, Square. Because, you know, remember, guys, this Final Fantasy VII Remake was initially announced several years ago, actually, and it was announced to be handled episodically, which I actually thought was, you know, probably the best way to handle this, considering Square's tumultuous development cycles, especially with what happened with 13 and 15, for that matter. So it's like, rather than trying to tackle a massive project all at once, you know, take a big project, but only focus on a little bit of it at a time, you know, and just really focus and polish a little bit at a time and work on it and release it in a, you know, timely manner. And that could work. That's something I think could work for Square. And yet,
as years went by with, like, no new footage, no new trailers, hell, barely even so much as an update as to, like, the status of it, you know, that just made me go, my God, like, Square really cannot get their shit together when it comes to developing things anymore. I know game development is hard. I understand that. But, my God, it's like Square is like, it's like now become notorious now that, you know, they don't know how to manage their time, their resources, and it ends up leading to, you know, what we get in the end. It leads to the shit show that was Final Fantasy XIII and the squandered, wasted potential that was Final Fantasy XV. And, you know, I love Final Fantasy VII. That's my favorite Final Fantasy. It's one of my favorite video games ever. So when I had heard that they are indeed making a remake for it, I was freaking happy. It's like, my God, they're actually going through with this. And it's like, yeah, after literally getting, like, radio silence for years, and, like, the most that we got out of it was, you know, they had originally hired another company to work on it, and then they decided, you know, nope, we are not working with them anymore. We are scrapping everything, and we're going to develop everything in-house. And it's like, oh my God, that's the last thing we need. So suffice it to say, my hopes were, they were getting dashed very quickly about, you know, whether this was even getting released, period. But, you know, okay, it does look like we did get some new footage, so we do get some new cinematics, and it does look like the cinematics have been getting a lot more polished compared to what we were initially seeing. So we at least know the game looks pretty, but Square games do, regardless of what you say, like, you know, regardless of, you know, the things I may bitch about, you know, if there's one thing I absolutely cannot take away from Square is that they can make gorgeous looking games. They can. It's everything else is where I have problems with. But, so the game definitely looks good. At this point, I just want to hear the technical stuff. Like, I want to know, how is combat specifically being handled? How is the materia system being handled? You know, how are the other characters being handled? I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that this is going to be one of those games where, you know, just like with 13 and with 15, you know, you only control Cloud, and everybody else is everybody's being controlled on by the AI, which allows you know, the combat to be fast-paced and focused. And I think suffice to say, we're going to be getting that here too. But, you know, I still would like to know, you know, okay, I want to know more about, you know, about the other characters. Like, you know, how are the limit breaks going to be handled? Like, you know, we can see, yes, we see that Cloud's handling limit breaks and shit. But it's like, you know, about the other party members. Like, is that also going to be controlled AI, or is that something that we can manually, you know, trigger for everybody? Like, there's a lot of things about, like, the actual gameplay itself we don't know. And at this point, that's what I'm waiting to hear. Now, they did say more to come in June. And in June is E3. So I think suffice it to say, progress that you have made. Because, my God, you have taken way too long just to release episode 1. So, that's what I'm waiting for, guys. And I think suffice it to say, I've pretty much, okay, I think that's pretty much everything I really wanted to say. So, okay, let's actually now get back into Kirby. I hate this fucking thing. This lion or whatever. It's like, oh my God, this guy annoyed me like no other. It's just like, like the jumping height, and it's just like, it's kind of like, okay. It's trying to time the jumping and the landing. And you know what? It actually kind of goes back to yesterday where I was talking about Hollow Knight. And I was saying how at the time I was struggling trying to fight I was trying to fight Hornet. And sure enough, after I had recorded and I was rendering out day 4, I go and play Hollow Knight and I finally beat her. And it's kind of the same thing that happened with this lion here. It's more so trying to really pick up and understand the jumping patterns. Now, granted, the lion's nowhere near as frustrating as Hornet, but still, it was just, you know, knowing when they're jumping, how high they're jumping, and where they're landing, so I can try and get close enough to actually be able to deal some damage. So it's like, you know, that's really, I guess, like, you know, what it reminded me of is, you know, I guess like a baby's version of the Hornet fight, really, with that goddamn lion. I believe I talked about this before also, that it's like, not a big fan of the wheel power-up, just because it's so incidental. Speaking of which, so, okay, I also, so I noticed I didn't get a chance to, really play around with it, but, I know in Yogurt Yard, we get the ball ability. And it was like, okay, I gotta, there we go. Don't keep running into the wall, like an idiot. But yeah, it's like, we got the ball copy ability, which I, like, did nothing with. So, yeah, sorry, don't really know, can't really comment too much about the ball ability. And yeah, we're getting an increase of the stone ability, which I know is, you know, that's BJ's favorite, copy ability. You know, I'm, you know, kind of a duh. But, yeah, I don't really care about that ability either. So, yeah, it's like, not a whole lot to really say about the copy abilities in Yogurt. Okay, this thing, I am confused, like, what the hell this is. So it's like, you hit the green blocks, and it's like, it whistles or something? So I'm just like, what is the point, and how is it you break all those blocks? Like, I'm assuming maybe there's another power or something? Or like, you know, how do I get to that switch? So that's where I'm just like, this is where I'm, you know, I'm at a loss. Like, yeah, what is that? You know, what is behind those blocks? How do I break them? And how do I get to that switch? You know, that eludes me, you know, so. But regardless, world is done. So now it's time to go into the boss. And the boss, I know, was, relatively easy. It just felt like, you know, took way longer than it needed to, but that's just because, well, how the actual boss fight plays out. Because, yeah, scrolling screen. It's like, my god. And it's like, let alone you got, yeah, like, you know, it's not a difficult fight by any means. You know, it's like, okay, he's just, you know, you can't get hit by the, you can't get hit by the arms. And he's just, you know, breaking the blocks, and you just have to follow him. And he occasionally, you know, shoots out a missile that you throw back. So it's like, I get it, I get that. But then it's like, you know, yeah, a lot of times it's like he's in the air, and it's just like, I need to be in a good position where I can actually, get a hold of, you know, the guy so I can spit it back out. So, yeah, this fight, it's not difficult. It just takes way longer than it really should, just because it's like you have to play by his pacing. Oh, there we go. You know, I hope you guys appreciated that I sped that up, because like I said, it took way longer than it really needed to, and I don't want to drag this out any longer than it needs to. So, come back tomorrow for level 6.